Federation Museum is unique in several ways. One, it's built in a band hall, purposely built for a brass band. That was in the 1915 time. It's gone through various reincarnations till about 40 years ago some very solid citizens said we should have a place for a museum in Corowa, and they were lucky enough to get this, and it's a magnificent building.
We focus essentially half of our space on the story of Federation. Corowa is known as the birthplace of Federation, and so we have an extensive timeline and display relating to that.
Our displays vary. We have, if you like, different audiences. Those people who come from outside of Corowa, they generally are looking for things they've already heard about, and the birthplace of Federation is outstanding on that score.
The role of Corowa in the Federation process was very significant, so that almost half the museum is devoted to the Federation story, and they have some very, very nice objects in their collection that tell that story.
Well, Federation has had a wonderful history in Australia, not all of it particularly good. From about the 1840s, even in London, they thought this should be one country rather than one or two colonies. But the biggest story was along the Murray River, Victoria were charging customs duties for anything that went into Victoria. So if you lived in Corowa and had to cross over the bridge into Waganya, you could be body searched, you would be paying duties, taxes on what you took over and so on. Highly inconvenient in every sense. So they organised to have a conference here in Corowa in 1893, and we got the delegates from the key places, but particularly Victoria and New South Wales. The premiers and various ones turned up. Australia came through on the 1st of January 1901. We had our own country. We had no navy, no army, obviously not an air force, but 14 years later we were in World War I. So everything moved very rapidly after 1893, the conference here in Corowa. We have a wonderful range of things in the museum that relate to our history. We have probably one of the finest collections of clothing from the 19th century. We have what I referred to it as, if you like, nostalgia lane. We start off with the kitchen and all that used to be there, and that is probably the number one attraction of the ladies. They see the ironing and so on. But when you move along, we have a children's section where we have bassinets and cradles, and moving down further we have a collection of entertainment items, ranging from musical instruments through to television and different radios and so on. Those people who have special interests, we have quite a good collection of Tommy McRae, an Aboriginal artist who lived here in the Waganya Corowa area. We have a good selection of his drawings, and they attract quite a few students and experts in the area. But Australia's most loved painting, Shearing the Rams, was done by Tom Roberts about 10 miles or about 15 kilometres out of Corowa, and that's without a doubt the most intriguing thing.
The social history aspect that we have in this museum, we have a lot of things. People come in and they recognise either from their childhood or grandparents' homes and things like that. It helps make a connection to the past, but then people will bring their children as well to learn about what happened when they were little as well.
From the community's point of view, I feel that there's a community pride that they get in their museum, and it's important also for young people in our community to learn about their culture, their culture in the local sense and in the regional sense, and things that certainly in our museum we have things that in the everyday lives of people that a lot of the younger children in the schools might not see those things, and they're preserved here, and we have schools visit, and it's wonderful to have that opportunity locally for people to come and learn about their culture.
We have a record player at the front at the moment, and I explain to them that's my iPod and my washing machine, the old with a ringer and stuff like that, that kind of thing. But the thing that the kids love most is our schoolhouse. We take them around to the schoolhouse, and it's the old benches with the lift-up lid, and they all sit down there, and we have a chat about how you get to school in the olden days. and that sort of thing. And the other thing that the kids love is our horses down the back. We've got some horses that were built by a volunteer of the museum, and we let the kids up on the cart and teach them how to make a horse go and stop and that sort of thing. I think it's fantastic for any city to have a collection, but Corowa especially, because a lot of these families have been here since settlement, pretty much farming families, and so to come here they can see what their grandfather or great-grandfather had on their farm, or even today are still using on their farms.
The Identity Project has been brought to fruition working collaboratively with 5 stakeholders. They are Museums and Galleries New South Wales with Arts New South Wales funding, Albury City, Corowa Shire Council, Greater Hume Shire Council and Murray Arts.